Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries. Today, hope you're doing well. Doing well. As previewed today, I'm going to stick true to form, and we're going to take a stroll down Rodeo Drive, but in the 70s. And that should be interesting because Los Angeles in general, during that time, was just deteriorating. When I grew up, the Hollywood sign was basically H, D, and like a crumbling L, and the rest was just on the ground. So my mother, of course, fashion maven with all that. We all know that. So she would go, of course, to Rodeo Drive, not just to kibitz, but to actually shop. You know, the clients that she dealt with in commercial television were very high-end clients, and usually they needed to look very fashion forward, and my mom has always been the go-to for that, was at least for 40 years. So we're going to start at the top of Rodeo Drive at Santa Monica Boulevard, and then we're going to work our way all the way down to Wilshire Boulevard. That's the stretch that is Rodeo Drive. Basically from there to there, that's the stretch that is now all glammed out. I'm going to take you from where it stops to where it ends in, let's put this in 77, 78, something like that. Like, you know, I'd say between 77 and 79. So let's say 78, whatever. Whole different place, you guys. Okay, so we're at the top of Rodeo Drive. Again, this is 1970, let's say 78. At the top, by Santa Monica Boulevard, is, guess what? The first Gap. The first Gap store ever was on the top of Rodeo Drive. It was just jeans, you guys. Literally just jeans. They had a few t-shirts, a couple of accessories, maybe, you know, a long sleeve shirt, or not even. You would walk in and look to your left, the whole wall, floor to ceiling, was folded jeans. And then, like I said, a few other things scattered around. And you can Google the logo, it was so 70s, like that. Okay, so we're gonna move down. Now, as we enter Rodeo Drive proper, I want you to know something about Rodeo Drive, perhaps an unwritten, I don't know, thing. And that is that the east side of Rodeo Drive is quite different than the west side of Rodeo Drive. East side of Rodeo Drive, at least then, now we're talking as if I were strolling down in 78. East side is very old money and very square. It was just square and old money. So we're at the top now, and we're making our way down from the Gap. Now again, west side, east side. Okay, so look to the east side, to the Squaresville. And first of all, they literally had a general store, you guys. I am not kidding. It was like a Newberry's, small, where you could get like things, you know, like pharmacy, knick-knacky, like, you know, J.J. Newberry. Okay, general store on Rodeo Drive. Again, I'm not on the west side yet. Then we're gonna stroll down. As we stroll down Rodeo Drive, the Squaresville on the left, we've got a chocolatier, Swiss chocolatier, little popular chocolate shop. We have Afong's, which was a small chain of Chinese restaurants, which were always very dark and weird. And the Chinese food wasn't very good. The one on Rodeo, you had to walk down into like this basement Afong's area. They had Van Cleef and Arpels, diamonds, they had lots of jewelry on that side. They had stores like Bijan, where you had to wait like 3 weeks for an appointment just to be able to ring the doorbell. You could window shop, but you couldn't even think about going to Bijan without an appointment booked well in advance. So that's the east side. So west side, right? So we're at the Gap. Now we're making our way down from the Gap on the west side, on our right, as you look down Rodeo Drive. Now on the west side, we have the Gap. You make your way down a little bit, and then let's see, where do we start? Well, let's just jump right to Joseph Magnin. Joseph Magnin, or Magnins, you know, possessive, was the place for menswear. I mean, like, bar none. It was the place that you go to for fashionable high-end menswear. Nothing necessarily special about it. It was very Ralph Lauren kind of thing, but a little bit on the kind of more, not trendy, but sort of more like fashion forward than even Ralph Lauren, because Ralph Lauren has some more traditional kind of Brooks Brothers-y things too, not Joseph Magnin. And of course, my mother and her everybody, everything, knowing everyone under the sun, having to do with retail and fashion and everything, we lived at Joseph Magnin's. I mean, and I loved it. Anything I could get from Joseph Magnin's that might fit me, if not Fred Siegel, that's another show, I would get. She would, like, I don't know, scarf or something, anything from Joseph Magnin's. And again, she knew everybody. Now, these boutiques had, I'm sure they have this now, but they had espresso bars. So in Joseph Magnin, there was an espresso bar, and it was just the place to be. I mean, it stuck out like a sore thumb. It was so fashionable. Okay, so now we're going a little bit further down, screw the east side, and we're going a little bit further down, and there is, you guys, at Cafe. Now, not like a coffee shop, where you go and you have sandwiches and you're just sitting like each to the side, on like a booth along the wall. Small. And you go in, and like I said, it's just narrow kind of coffee shopy place. Nothing special at all. This is on Rodeo Drive. It was called Elizabeth's. You can Google it. And the walls, both sides, for as high up as they could get, had celebrity signatures. So I'm sure they couldn't save the walls, but oh my God, you guys, and really not a very kind of like remarkable place. So there's that. Oh, and by the way, down the road, there's the second Schwab's. There is not only Schwab's on Sunset, there's one actually off Rodeo Drive. That's a whole nother show. So we're making our way from Magnin's, and then we have Gucci. And this is before Giorgio's. So we have Gucci. I actually saw a fashion show at Gucci